into what we've been doing with your multiplicity photos and also the Photoshop challenge if you've worked on the Photoshop challenge. So the way that you're going to start off the portrait assignment is, I would just pick out one of these portraits first. And again, you can use the portraits that I provided for you, or you can find one on your own online. Probably it's easier to do like the portrait from like the straight on view. It's a lot easier if you just do like the straight on view, because then you can cut it in half real easily, the picture. So I'm gonna use this old person for my starting picture. So if you want to download, you're gonna click on Open on the very top right, Open New, and you're just gonna download that portrait. So I'm gonna do like the old man and the Terminator. So old man, the Terminator here. Okay, it's very similar to how you guys did the Photoshop challenge and the and your multiplicity photos. So you're gonna just click and drag this onto Photoshop. Click and drag it onto Photoshop. And then the next picture you're going to add, you're going to do like the same thing. Just click and drag it onto Photoshop. And I would just click and drag it as a separate window. So drag it onto the PS here. So you have two separate windows here. Alright, so just like how we do with your Photoshop challenge, you want to use the quick selection tool. So this tool here, you're going to use this to highlight the parts of the picture. Actually, you know what, let me go back here. You actually want to drag this onto the actual image. So click and drag this onto the workspace. It's easier to work that way. So I'll just drag this into the workspace. And then this is going to be, should be a new layer. Okay, this layer is really small, so I gotta make it bigger. So I would just click and drag it onto the layer that you're working on. It might be easier that way to do it. So I'm just dragging the image onto here. I'm going to use the quick selection tool. Okay, so I'm just only selecting the Terminator's head. So I'm just selecting the head here. And again, don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I would just select the like the parts that you want to keep in the picture. So I'm only going to do like this half of the picture. So I'm gonna do this half here. It's okay. Just you want to just highlight most of it, and then you do the refine edge. And then remember the parts that are red. That's gonna be the parts that can be cut out. The parts that stay the same, they're gonna stay the same. And I would just I think you guys might have it set up to new document with layer mask. You want to click on where it says new layer with layer mask. These are going to be like the different ways you can output the, or the ways you can change it. So click OK. And then you have like part of the picture already cut out for you. So you have like the image here cut out with the layer mask already for that part. And on the bottom it's the old image. You can just delete the old image here. And you're just going to be working with the part we use the layer mask to cut out. So I would just use the move tool. Move it around, try to line it up with that picture. And again, remember to resize. You can do Command T as in turtle, and just hold the Shift key and you can resize it that way. You might have to stretch the scale a little bit just so it fits the picture. And you just want to line up that picture, as nicely as you can with the portrait. And some of you are doing like animals example, you might have to like kind of just find a way to fit it in. But once you have it with the way it looks, you click OK. And then so if you do the the quick selection tool, half of the work is done for you. The other part what we'll have to do is we're gonna have to try to blend the two pictures together. Okay, so we're gonna blend those two pictures together. So if you remember the layer mask that we worked with before when we did the multiplicity photos, that allowed us to erase certain parts of the picture. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of erasing, but it's not really erasing that we're doing. We're actually gonna be trying to blend and mesh those two pictures together. So you want to use the fuzzy brush and change this to 30 opacity. and then just change it back to black. So the black's gonna erase it, but you want to try to erase the edges, especially the edges. You want to try to blend those two pictures together. So I'm just trying to blend these two pictures together. So I'm trying to like create like a more convincing looking picture where they look like they're together. So if you look at it here, I have to actually move this around a little bit more. Just to line it up with that picture. Again, I'm just really taking my time, blending out the picture. I'm also erasing those parts that I don't really need. And also, like, part of my background got here, so I'm just going to do the opacity 100. Just erase that part out. So, change it back to 30. I'm going to blend it. Really do take the time to blend it, make it look nice, make it look neat. So, just blending those things together. I might not need to do any erasing here because I want that part to be the actual robot part. So it looks like he's part machine, part man. And then after you do like the blending part, you might want to take more time with the blending. I'm doing it kind of real quickly. Then you want to kind of like blend the whole picture together. So after you're done with the blending part, then you can change the change like the whole thing to black and white. That way, like now, instead of it having it look like two photos, it looks like it's like one now. And then I would just like play around with the colors. So you can change your color balance here. Let me find my window. Okay, your color balance, so you can change the colors with how it looks. Or if you want, you can do like a gradient map. So remember, like gradient maps, you can change the different tones of the picture. So after you do the blending of the two pictures together, then you're gonna have to like try to mesh those pictures together as one. And also, if you want, you can combine more things. So I did like the Terminator here. Maybe I might want to add. Let me go back here. So I got the robot part here. Maybe I might want to add like an animal aspect to it. So maybe I might want to add the ears of like the tiger. So you can add like more things to it. You can be really creative with the combining of your pictures for this assignment. So let me download the tiger. And again, I will look up your own pictures though, because you guys want to do your own things. That's fine too. So if I want to add like these tiger ears, I just click and drag this onto the Photoshop. Just be wary though if your picture, like this one's like a really small picture. I gotta make it larger here. So like same process that we did before. Do the quick selection tool. I'm only gonna select the ears for this picture here. Oh, you know what? That might be interesting to add the snout here. So maybe I'm gonna add the snout of the tiger in my picture here. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Let me not do the ears. I'm only gonna do the snout. So I'm only selecting the parts that I want to add. I'm just gonna add the snout here. Refine edge. That looks good to me. I'm just gonna refine it. And now I just have the picture of the snout. I'm just gonna delete this one. I don't really need that picture anymore. Move this down. And I'm actually gonna move this down to this layer just so I don't have to redo the colors again. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and resize this. Alright, but if you look here now, I'm adding the snout of that tiger on here. Okay, but like after I add that next picture though, then I gotta do the blending. So click on your layer mask. Make sure you click on the layer mask, and then you can kind of like blend those pictures together. I might actually have to get like a really small eraser here. Look at some of those details. Let me get it bigger here. Erase. But I mean, you get the idea though. You can be really creative. Go as far as you want with this practice assignment. All right. So. You guys got